Yes, hello and welcome back to our channel. So in this particular video, we are discussing a very important poem by Andrew Marvell, that is To His Quietness. And in this poem, Andrew Marvell discusses some metaphysical concepts. And as we know, Andrew Marvell is a part of metaphysical poets, and his poetry was, quite revolutionary. And the people in 17th century, they were not quite ready for such kind of poetry, and that is why we see metaphysical poets did not really get the attention or the praise in their contemporary time. Okay, so when these poets were writing their poems, they did not, get any favorable reviews or any favorable response from the audience. So only after the end of 19th century, that is the beginning of 20th century, we see people going back to metaphysical poetry. And in today's time, we consider metaphysical poets as one of the great poets of British literature. So that is quite clear here. So in this particular poem, that is To His Quietness, Andrew Marvell is talking about the shyness of his lover, shyness or the hesitation that his lover has. And he gives, some reasons or some analogy to explain to his lover that why she should, she should give away this shyness, and she should engage physically with the speaker or the lover. So this poem can be again divided into three parts. The first one we have is a stanza, which is a seductive stanza. It is an opening where Marvel is explaining how they don't have much time here, right? And the second stanza is about a philosophical argument about the passage of time and how they don't have enough time to think about all these things, right? And the third stanza, or the last section of this poem, it is a call to action where the speaker is directly persuading the lover to, to have a kind of physical relationship with him. So in the first stanza, Marvel uses a lot of imagery and a lot of examples to explain why, this quietness of the speaker is not appropriate here. Okay, this quietness doesn't serve any purpose, okay, in their relationship. So he says, so this quietness would be a fine thing, this quietness would be tolerable, it would be okay if they had all the time in the world. So if they have all the time in the world, this quietness would be of no problem, right? But according to Marvel, they don't have enough time. So, like all the other things in nature, all the other things in the society, these two lovers, they are also the subject of the time, right? So, time is a thing that doesn't stop for anything, right? Doesn't stop for anybody. So, similarly, time will not wait for these two lovers. So, this coyness or this shyness by the lover, the beloved, is only delaying the process of love for these two people. So this coyness or this shyness that the female lover is expressing right now, it is a kind of hindrance, it is a kind of obstacle to the fulfillment of their love. And he uses some examples, and he says, if we had all the time in the world, I could wait for you since the beginning of the time till the end of the world. So I could wait for you all this while if we had enough time for that. But unfortunately, we don't have time. And like all the subjects in the world, we are also subject to the passage of time. And with time, we will end up in the grave. He uses this term of grave. Grave again represents the death of these two people. So if we continue to wait like this only, one day we will die. And after our death, there is no use of this, longing for each other. There will be no use of this longing, right? This passionate love about each other will be of no use after our death. And when we once we are in our graves, we cannot embrace each other. So this word embrace here represents the union of two people, right? So after our death, when once we are in our graves, we cannot embrace each other, we cannot love each other, we cannot show our longing for each other. So if we try to suppress our feelings, if we try to store our feelings into a condensed form, and if we don't express our passion for each other, it will go it will all go waste, right? It will all be of no use after our death. So in the last stanza, he comes back to the call to action, where he, directly says to the beloved that, she should not wait any longer, because these concepts of honor, concepts of, how a girl should behave in the society, they are all, constructs of a society, and they don't actually have any meaning in the real world. And this, this idea of having your own honor, and we see how the society pressurizes women to preserve their honor, right? But this preservation of honor, it doesn't really have any purpose, because when God created us, the human beings, he did not specifically tell us to what to do with these bodies. Okay, so this is our liberty, this is our choice to make, because this body is, is our possession, right? And we can control this body with a sensible mind. So he says that, there is this idea of having honor in society, and especially for women, where women are subjected to, so many societal restrictions, and these restrictions so serve no purpose actually, according to Marvell. And he says, if you conform to the norms of society, if you conform to the, these restrictions put forward by society, we will, we will be subject to decay. Our bodies will decay over time, and this beauty and the beautiful body that you have, the beautiful personality that you have, it will vanish with time. It will one day, it will, like all the other things which are subject to decay, this body is also subject to decay only. And with time, this beauty, this attractive outlook of yours, it will, go away with time. So he said there is no actual use of, refraining from using your body, refraining from, the pleasures of this life, right? So he says that, you should not wait for anybody, you should not, restrict yourself, and you should actually go on with your longing which you have for, another body. So to conclude, he says that, your passion for, if you have passion for anything, and in this particular situation, the speaker has passion for his lover's body. So his ultimate objective in this poem is to have a physical union, a kind of sexual encounter with the lover. So this is his ultimate objective here, and this is again quite well described in the last stanza as well, where he, reinforces his ideas about how they should not restrict themselves, and how they can, engage into any physical activity they want. So again, this is a quite a controversial poem actually, because of the themes, the sensitive themes that it discusses, and maybe this was the reason where, because such kind of poetry, such kind of metaphysical poetry, was not appreciated when the time it was written in. And but in today's time, we have a kind of mature outlook towards looking at these things, and these poems can now be discussed at any level actually, right? And I hope you have understood the explanation of this poem. This is not actually the line by line explanation of this poem. If you want the line by line explanation, please comment down. This is just a kind of brief overlook of the poem, brief introduction to the poem, and I hope I have, provided you some information about this poem, what this is about. And if you liked this video, please comment down. And if you want us to cover some more poems like this, please comment down the names of those poems, and we will try to cover those poems surely. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.